This is Temet. Everybody, say hi, Temet.
Hi, Temet.
He is the world's best one-trick neon that consistently smurfs on your favorite pros in Radiant lobbies. Temet's movement, decision-making, and aim are so elite that he could be a realistic option to replace Kayn Zera or Ion on Envy. One-tricks fit right in. As a matter of fact, in this game, he smurfed on Inspire with a 2.0 KD. But how? What does Temet do differently that allows him to constantly drop 30 kill games in the highest ranked lobbies that Valorant has to offer? And how does he clip from the best players in the world? Well, the answer is shocking. I have gotten so sick and tired of players making the same stupid mistakes that I've decided to partner with former world champion Screwface to launch our own bootcamp for aspiring pros at Top Frag, which includes a free community that anyone can join. We host about 7 calls a week in the Discord covering 3 topics: Valorant, aim, and performance coaching. These sessions are led by Tier 1 and Tier 2 professionals to ensure quality. All of that is free and always will be. But if you're Iron through Ascendant and are serious about ranking up fast, we've also built a rigorous program called the Invitational. Here, you get 2 one-on-one onboarding calls, a strategy session with a pro coach, and a personalized practice schedule. We also pay you to get better. I'm talking $75 skin bundle prizes for our biggest rank ups. But there's only 100 seats, so you need to move fast as they're filling up quick. So use my code Teets to get $50 off sign up and your entire first month for free. Just don't tell Screwface that I'm doing that. Don't you want to get better at Valorant? Click the link in the description. When the replay system was first revealed, I was super stoked. It runs super smooth, has a ton of cool features, but the only problem is that it's only locked for your ranked games, not pro play yet. So I figured, why not call up some of my Radiant friends and break down their comp games? I mean, they play against pros and have to be pretty good in order to play in these lobbies. But after watching this VOD, it turns out that gold lobbies and Radiant lobbies aren't all that different. And now this means that I do have an Iron game breakdown in the works. But today, we're starting this ranked breakdown series experiment with Team Temet versus Team Inspire, who, by the way, is one of the best Sentinel players in existence who just made it to franchising. So how can a dude who streams all day and only locks Neon beat a Tier 1 pro? Let's find out. On pistol, Temet did a lot despite not finding a kill. He and Teo spotted the A-line and eventually decided to push through. While in mid, Clove decided to sit on a grenade, and Sage tried trapping her teammate in it. Nice! But because Temet was able to hold this third of the map on his own, Teo was able to quickly rotate through vents, stunned, and rapidly rip shots into the mid-smoke, and bagged Clove. Was it lucky? Kinda. But where else could the offense be? A's quiet, while Temet's Reyna is digging on her ass in B. I guess the offense could be in there, but she didn't hear anything. This was good spam. Then because Sage punished Inspire and the defense won the lurking Reyna versus AFK Reyna battle on B, Team Temet won pistol. But Inspire and friends took the defense off guard next round by forcing. Team Temet were in control for most of this round until this 2 versus 1.
One enemy remaining.
Like, is this Clove okay? Why are we peeking before Chips could help? He still had his drone. If you monkeys in ranked would just talk to each other and come up with plans, I promise your win rate would skyrocket. Stop ordering DoorDash and turn off Spotify. You have RR to win. The defense had to save, bringing us to a really important full buy. Whichever team wins this, the other has to save next. And now their setup has changed. In ranked, people don't normally think about where they're going. They kind of just wander about. So here, AFK Reyna has moved over to A to join Temet, who's ready to fight. But the offense are set up to default mid. That starts with a smoke from male, which is a dead giveaway that the offense are headed to vents. So Temet trusts that his traffic on Reyna can just sit here and hold this line, allowing him to help Clove in vents. You know, as a duelist with a get out of jail free card, you'd think that you want to play in a more aggressive off angle. No? Literally watch this Reyna throughout this game, and you might as well replace him with Cypher Spycam, and they'd be doing the same thing. But after Sacred flashes high for Vito's Interceptor, the offense have mid immediately and sit down Clove, who hasn't used a single smoke, by the way. Like, why not cancel out the attacker's male smoke by placing one yourself in mid? This would buy Temet time to rotate over and help you. Instead, we just stand out in the open. And now the hero of our story is tasked with cleaning up this mess.
Spike down.
Nice! Because in Radiant, space— oh, wait, Temet, stop!
Spike down mid.
Dude! I was gonna say that because Radiant lobbies have okay spacing, that Temet needed to hold left click and spray transfer these guys. But that slide was stupid! I mean, I guess you guys wouldn't watch his videos if he was just playing discipline all the time. Sure, Inspire hit a nice shot, but he knew this slide was coming. Against a Neon, especially this guy, you have to hold wider in order to counter their slide. This once 4 versus 3 is now even, and Inspire teleports out. All this commotion has probably opened up a timing on the wings. Dude, this guy can't even jiggle peek right. When spotting for info, you have to either do it consistently or just leave and play the spike. Pick one! Indecisiveness will kill you in this game. Drifting back and forth from spawn to elbow just gave your position away to the outlaw. Now with A butt naked, Teo feel like he has to do something.
1 enemy remaining.
Satchel out.
Despite the 6 spray transfer, rank tendencies lost Team Temet the round, now they have to save. But with Chip's ult, it's kinda winnable. Most of the defense are gamble stacking A, Temet's going to hold A again, but the offense are going B. Normally, just slamming this site is a horrible idea, as in order to get to it, the offense have to funnel through this narrow choke point. But against a save? With Inspire's evolution online, it's not that bad of a plan. The barriers fall, and the offense charge and remain behind the blue man. Pile on a boombot, sky flash, interceptor, double satchels, and a second flash? The site is Inspire's. The defense have no choice but to stall with their slows and nukes to buy time for rotates, which has worked. Look at the defense. The Clove hangs up a one-way so their team can funnel out behind the stealth drone.
1 enemy remaining.
Go, go, go.
Thrifty.
Man, I am so glad that we finally have this replay system. Because look, right before Chips ulted, Temet bounces Relay Bolt at Nubox. This forces the attackers in a checkmate, either get stunned or be totally inaccurate as they're running away from this Armageddon. The only area that wasn't clear was underneath Rafter and Default. Sage 200 pumped the first guy, and Temet went nuts past the second so that his teammates could trade him. I mean, who on earth is hitting this? Now, if you want to counter site-wide ults like Teo's, the attackers need to push up and get even more aggressive than normal and disrupt the defender's plans. Even if they're on an eco, ultimates can win you rounds. With last round's win, Temet's able to afford an op and plans on soloing this line while Reyna spaces out. God, you're useless. The rest of their team is contesting mid. Maybe Reyna's plan is to flash for Temet through this wall? But wouldn't it be better to help him from here so she could actually shoot her gun afterwards? But opping on Neon? Isn't that brain dead? No, Jimmy, you don't need a dash or insta-TP to abuse these snipers. Neon and Raze can move fast enough to play in off angles and get out too, especially in ranked where spacing is a lot worse than pro play. Now, Inspire's team, on the other hand, are spread in a 3-2-0. This couple is going to try and create such a big distraction and hopefully make me weaker for these 3 to slam. But is that going to work? Because as the round starts, Temet gets on the A line while his Reyna stares blankly at this wall for a minute before deciding to leave. Back in mid, Sage has insta-walled, which gets insta-broken by Inspire's interceptor. And now, thanks to Clove's ruse and Sage's slow orb, the attacker's Trailblazer gets cancelled out. But the offense don't care. They're going B. Can this traffic cone get there in time? The offense unleashed their Seekers to bolster the defense, but with Temet on the line with his op, his entire team is basically here to stop this B hit. Chips got lucky to get one after flying out of heaven, and Temet's team did good to clean up any mid lurks. The defense have the offense boxed. What are the attackers going to do?
For you. Spike planted. Last player standing.
Gotcha.
Out of charges.
My turn.
1 enemy remaining.
Go, go, go.
Wow, Reyna, you were useless! Because Temet allowed her to get here so early, she punished Raze, who was trying to push spawn and make a play. But then she used her dismiss really well by taking a single shot and then getting out. This info lined up Temet's top, and this one-way allowed him to fly out of heaven. I mean, he's the only one who could have done this. Swinging through the smoke for anyone else would have been stupid. It's a one-way. But because Temet slid through, the attackers felt like they were being pinched, tried fighting his side, but he had an op. Then the attacker's Clove tried getting the trade from their ult, but Temet was already gone. Toby had to re-swing the defenders dry. Throughout the first 6 rounds of this game, Temet has been doing nothing but rotating and playing retake on A. He's itching to get in on the action and has brought his op over to B, where the offense are now going A. Unlucky. All right, Reyna, I've been dogging on you all game. Let's see what you got.
The hunt begins.
Spike down A.
Shoot.
I got the spike.
Okay, Reyna, if you want to fight sight, you have to at least hold the choke point the offense are coming through. He just sat there and fried his retinas into the screen before eventually peeking and killing Skye. But he had no idea that his counterpart made it into elbow. And because this dog-piss Sage wall was never broken, rotates were here in time to flood. But Raise's paint shells locked Clove in heaven and inspires more passive ramp peek, blindsided Sage before getting traded. Despite clearing sight, the offense were too focused on clearing Reyna to pick up the spike. So Chips had a timing and swung, got one, and did enough damage to B-Dog to make sure he died to fall damage. But after Clove's duel with Inspire, they're down to 1 HP and are pretty far from Temet, who has a full kit.
Shocking. Here we go. Next.
Normally in a 2v1, you should be playing with your teammate, especially when they have an extra life to use. But because Toby gave their position away by tapping the plant, Temet had plenty to win the round on his own, leaping on a spawn to fire his relay bolt into 2 slides, one coming from his ult, and Clove just couldn't track him. But had Toby connected this shorty shot and killed Temet, I think I would have lost my shit. And now, after watching a ton of Temet's games, maybe he can't replace Envy's Duelist. This Neon 1 trick just doesn't have the discipline for tier 1 play. He's used to clip farming for his montages and TikTok. Like on the next round, he soloed B main while the entire offense pounded their way into mid. There, a war raged on for like 30 seconds. Inspire disintegrated Sage as well with his interceptor, swung through the smoke before his teammate's smoke could go down, and died, but Sage's slow stopped his team from trading. But once it faded, both teams were right back at it.
Blinded. Not your fun. My turn.
So while this was going on, Temet got so deep into B main with his op that he knew no one was coming this way. He pivoted and immediately darted up into heaven, which left B naked. But Teets, what if there was a lurker? Wouldn't he get embarrassed? When holding an angle, Radiants look at their minimap, the kill feed, or listen for sound cues, all of which are forms of gathering info while not actually being in the action. In that fight, Temet passively saw Raze, Skye, Reyna, and Clove. Even if he didn't, leaving this area isn't that bad because an attacker would have to shift walk through this path, which would take about 30 seconds to actually find the timing. Compare him to Reyna, who's picking their ass on A, and now you can see why Temet is one of Valorant's best.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
You just left your little brother Reyna in a 1v1! Eventually Raze ends up going B, and Reyna hears her but is too afraid to hold an off angle for some reason. Instead, she follows B-Dog out to Rafter and posts up on the last spot he planted.
Spike planted.
Cutting their vision.
Thrifty. Did they just let anyone into this rank? Then for the next 2 rounds, the offense still managed to dodge Temet's sight, and he didn't see much action besides blasting a Odin and having a B-Dog swan dive into his shorty. But on round 10, he did this. If this guy had any level of discipline, he'd be #1 Radiant guaranteed. But instead, Temet's an iPad kid that can't sit still. So if he has no discipline, what makes Temet one of the most popular content creators on the platform? Well, it's his tracking, movement, awareness, and sexy-ass hairdo. Like, just look at this thing. Like in this round, Temet's posted on B main again with his op, while most of his team fights mid, and Reyna is scrolling Tinder out on A. And lucky for our protagonist, he has a customer. But this isn't any old Raze. This is B-Dog. I've talked about this dude previously in this breakdown, but he has competed with and against tier 1 and tier 2 talent. Surely he diffs a content creator, right? B-Dog knows an op is active and uses his boombot as cover to clear the B main line. Temet's force back and stabs the cute little robot in the face. But B-Dog realizes that if his team is making such a big commotion in mid, a defensive reclear in B is likely. So he backs off and hops up into a more passive angle while Temet slowly sidesteps to reclaim this area. Now once he peeks into the entrance and doesn't see anyone, he sprints off into heaven where his team's been battling mid around their Clove Smokes and Sage Wall. Similar to what I explained previous, if no attackers are here, it is safe to leave for a bit before a real timing is to be had. But B-Dog was tucked deep. He hears Temet run away, and Reyna dies on A. Nice, Reyna. Like, yeah, mid was kind of noisy, but do you see your teammates' sightlines? This push was just a stupid gamble. Now Team Temet feels really uncomfortable with their setup. Clove leaves to pick up A, and Teo activates his stealth drone to find out what's going on in mid. He doesn't find anything, so Chips tells Temet to go back to pick up B. In the defense's mind, the offense have left and are gearing up to hit either site. Now, remember how I said Temet cleared B, so it'd be a while before the offense could actually be in here? Well, Temet realizes that this timing is here now. And of course, we see him go for a repeat. Are all duelists just dumb? But since Temet sees no one following B-Dog, Chips decides to re-clear mid a second time by combining a guided salvo with his Sage's slow orb. No one's jump up, so odds are the attackers still aren't in mid. Does that mean the attackers are A? Clove thinks to themselves. This is why decision-making is the #1 thing that separates Radiance from the rest of the world. See, the offense's plan was for Skye to make a bunch of noise and sell a fake with her Seekers, add on the quietness on B, and the attackers hoped that the defense would think that it's A. But because Skye drifted across into this cubby and lazily jiggled ramp, she got timing. Then I think Inspire just wanted to pick off some rotates, but he lost his aim tool. Oh, and by the way, this Chips guy is really good. Now, even though Skye died, the fake still worked. Reyna's waltzing into A with the spike, and her Clove is sprinting to catch up. Soon the defense start to realize that it's B. As Reyna's planting, Team Temet starts to roll out from A, but before leaving, Sage makes a weird decision to bring back their Reyna? Why bother? She's just a free ult point. And now Temet's gotten here pretty early, and his job now is to contain the offense and wait for his mates so they can trade each other out, meaning don't run at them. Team Inspire are down 5-2, so these guys are going to push up and make plays. That explains his close relay bolt, but once everyone's here, it's time for Temet to put on a show.
Go, go, go!
Last player standing.
Oh my god, it never left!
One enemy remaining.
That's the...
This quick Neon jump for info, and a fast bobs and weaves with his ult that are impossible to track. As Neon, you want to be impossible to hit and use that speed to gather info, do chip damage, and I think Temet really has mastered Neon's movement. If he could just control himself and not go for TikTok clips all the time, he genuinely could be one of Valorant's best. Like, he started the last round of the half with an insanely fast peek and insta-stun, which baited B-Dog right into Reyna's crosshair. Don't you love to see a father and son duo working together so well? But now I'm taking us to the second half, and something that ranked players don't seem to realize is that sometimes you need to make adjustments on the fly. Like, during the buy phase, Temet's sitting here reading chat while his team is grouping to go A. His Clove in the last second says, to which Temet says, they're playing slow because their dive duelist isn't there. Which is a good thing, because the defense are pushing. That's really our plan? Just throw a bird at the attackers and hope they die? And I love how Ray's is still back in heaven like, hey, yeah, man, I'll throw a nade from you, but like from all the way back here, man. Yeah, you got that. And Reyna was just AFK and ramp. If you're Skye, why not ask for a Reyna flash? This would create for an undodgeable super blind. Do the attacker shoot the eyeball but get flashed by the bird? Or turn the bird but still get nearsighted by the leer? Paperback spammed that combo in this video and nobody could stop them. Instead, Reyna spent the buy phase on Clash Royale. And now with that death and Inspire spotting nothing be main, Clove feels like they need to help A. But can Clove cross Temet?
Shocking! Shortcut! I'm out of...
Sentinels use their bots to help them lurk, controllers use their smokes, and Temet? He uses his fast movement to peek around the map. Imagine you're trying to rotate and you expect a Reyna or Clove to lurk, but then this happens to you. Now, it's not like he wanted to play away from his team, he just made it work. But after, he ran back to his team, begged mommy for a heal, and the offense plowed over the defense on B. Now, even though you might have one of the best duelists on your team, that doesn't always guarantee that you're going to succeed on attack. Like on the very next round, Temet helped his team conquer mid before staying back to later split B through heaven, but his teammates forgot to clear their corners.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
Gotta go!
That one mistake forced the offense to save next round, where they ended up getting farmed by the defense. Then on the following full buy, the offense rushed A.
Short good. Shocking. Blinded.
Spike down A. Last player standing. Last player standing.
Had Sky not hit this ridiculous flick, the offense probably win the round, but hey, this happens sometimes. Then Team Temet had to save again, and they decided to rush Inspire.
Here we go.
Negating. Snap trip.
Kinda like Cypher's trips, Neon can't just run into Vito's side. You gotta bait his stuff out. So simply because the offense didn't clear close left, and Sky hit a nice shot, Team Inspire has taken the lead. Alrighty class, what do we do when we start losing? Good! Here, Temet's bought one, but why on Neon? On offense, isn't she supposed to be the close quarter combat master with her speed and slide? Well, yes, but Sage has her res. Listen to his comms. With an extra life online, the offense want to take duels before they just hit A. And what's the best gun to duel with? And punish stupid defenders from peeking? The op. But just because Team Temet has 6-7 lives, that doesn't mean this round's going to be easy. Because Inspire's entire setup is here! Can the offense get through? Or will they get tethered like last time? Well, just like most things, Reyna's going to ruin them. Like, just why, man? Like, by you walking this slowly from ramp, the attackers can be out by the time you peek. You didn't get timinged. What was your plan here? Now, since the rest of the defense insta-peek mid and B, they're starting their flank, but Team Temet weren't rushing. So as Toby's clearing out mid, Shua puts him down. Back on A, Raze and Vito are throwing everything they have at the attackers to try and slow them down, when Shua also punishes Sky for... Oh my god, Jesus, dude. You know Aim Labs is free, right? The offense know these two were A, so they just go B. Then retaking against an op, yeah, good luck.
Last player standing.
Dead and done. My ult is ready.
Next round, Team Temet took back the lead, but it wasn't really that exciting. Everybody just kind of took a bunch of aim duels while Temet cleared out every possible angle with his op. Crazy how for someone who moves so fast, this dude is really good with a weapon that requires you to be calm, cool, and collected. And for the past few rounds, it's been working, so why fix something that's not broken? The offense are defaulting A, the defense are fighting mid. Do they die to the lurking clove again? Okay, pause. Did you guys see what Temet did? How did he get so high? It's not a replay bug. I mean, if you look at his VOD, it happened live on stream. Is there some secret high jump neon tech we don't know about? Whatever. The barriers fall and Temet posts up on ramp, protecting Chip's Deltron from a peek. The defense respond by sending their mobile down mid, but look at how far Chips gets. The defenders respond by smoking off main, which allows Kelvin to run up, Leer in hand, alongside Chips' missiles, and the defense have to fall and cap off heaven with the smoke. Now Inspire is begging his team to go stack A the more he pushes through B. Clove says, okay, if you say so, and barely misses Shua. Despite missing the lurk, the defense have a strong 4-stack on A, but then we use our Sky ult? What the? Look at your team, dude. 8 ult points to be told what your team already knows? Okay, well, now that the smokes have faded, Temet still wants to work his op. But the defense have double confirmed info that it's A. No one's going to peek. Sky even blue balls Temet. So because he can't find a kill, Clove calls out for the team to push through vents so that they can backstab the defense. But Shua needs to be careful. Inspire's on his caboose.
Gotta go.
Spike down A.
This is how it ends.
This is a Chips breakdown. After realizing the defenders were trapped in vents, Chips laid out a perfect horizontal Armageddon that not only killed Clove, but forced B-Dog into Temet's timed stun, which also forced Reyna out from Flowers and Hell. She didn't feel comfortable and ended up walking right into his crosshair. But Temet's relay bolt did put B-Dog in check. He either gets blown up or died to this op. Now, after assuming that the rest of the defense have rotated A, the offense decides to bolt in events to go B. And with Temet leading the charge, surely he spots Inspire for his team, right?
Last player standing.
When you're running around the map as Neon, you need to constantly check your surroundings, because if you just even barely spot someone, they'll come up on the map for your teammtes. Temet here was just vibing out. Now, usually I'd be pissed, but it was just Reyna who died, and she's basically just a free ult orb for the enemy team. Then in the 3 versus 1, Temet got punished for playing with his food. Reyna mains are idiots. Like, Temet has been opping the past bajillion rounds. What did you think was going to happen? You've just given Temet his overdrive, and now your Sky is fucked! Why wouldn't you just combine your flashes and then peek?
I'm pissed!
Spike down A.
Satchel out.
One enemy remaining.
When making spaces Neon, you don't just want to throw up your fast lane and run it up the gut. That's how you get pre-fired. What Temet did was bounce in and out of his walls to scout for info, and once he spots someone, I'd assume he'd stun and slide on him real smooth like. But instead, Sky ran in headfirst and blasted Sage. Then retaking against an op is impossible. Now, is Temet a better Neon than Asuna? Probably not. Check out this video. Asuna is like 10 times better.